mining.com.au is coming to you once again from the floor of the Noosa Mining Conference. Standing next to me is Rob Kirtlan, the Executive Director of Renegade Exploration. Rob, it's great to see you in the flesh again. How are you?
Likewise, I'm back.
You're back. We're back in Noosa. Can't complain about this.
Yeah, just came up for the day though.
Of course. I was lucky enough to be here for the past few days, but that's enough about me. You've got some exciting things happening with your projects now. You've just wrapped up the September quarter, released the news to the market. Tell me, what were some of the key highlights to come out of this quarterly report?
I think the good news that we had and certainly released just after was the news out of Canada about their support for the critical minerals industry and the industry in general. Things are definitely changing in Canada. Certainly in the Yukon, which I would have said to you 6 months ago, it looked a little difficult. 3 months ago, it started to improve. Now Yukon's kind of a hot area to be in, and we've got a zinc deposit there, so we've got exposure to zinc and some other critical minerals. And I think even more important than that, we had a really excellent target to have a crack at, which we call Myschka, and Myschka's gold, silver, antimony. It has all the characteristics of a classic sort of intrusion-related gold play, so we're a little bit excited about that. And I guess the follow-up there is that we have just completed, we completed programs, to be honest, way over 2 months ago. We're actually just getting the data in now, so we've got mags, we've done mapping, we've done everything, and we're collating that data as we speak. So we'll be coming to market hopefully very soon with the news on that as well.
Look, obviously there's a lot to digest in that, so I'm looking forward to those future news flow. But you touched on something quite interesting there, that Canada's starting to change their approach to critical minerals. I know you put an announcement out a couple of days about this. What does it mean, and how does this help Renegade Exploration? I
think it started in our neck of the woods in the Yukon. It started late last year where the Department of Defense, as it was then for the US, tipping money into one of our neighbours' tungsten deposits. And there's a Canadian infrastructure fund which also was going to tip money into developing the infrastructure, which runs past our front door. Now, when I say front door, it's actually 50 k's away, which up in those mountains is a fair way. But however, better than nothing. And there's some other noises in our area down the road at the Faro zinc complex, which used to be the biggest in the world, biggest producing area in the world, I'm pretty sure. And there's chatter about that coming back online. So all of a sudden, the zinc deposit actually has some value. It's high in germanium. It's got gallium in it. So it's got a few things in there which are not bad. It's a reasonable grade. But as I said, and then maybe the cherry on top is Myschka, which has had no work done on it since 2003.
Now, you and I are together. We're the few zinc bulls that exist in this space. Your zinc project is quite exciting. It's just taking the market a bit of time to work out how exciting it really is.
I think calling me a zinc bull is stretching the chewy. I've been around this market too long to be in love with zinc. But look, some people are. At my age, I'm told to take zinc. Believe it or not, it's quite interesting. So not that I'm that old, but anyway, look, to realise value from that, where I started talking about this earlier in the year, is it the pig's ear, is it a silk purse? Maybe it is. So as far as the Yukon goes, way better. They started off this year kind of going, what do we do next? Because I've actually sold it twice, and the option, it's option deals. They've never settled the last amount of money. So now we've kind of stuck with it. But maybe it's a good chewy to have on our shoe, if you know what I mean.
2026, future's looking bright.
It's looking good.
Now, let's talk about upcoming news. Obviously, you've got a few projects happening, a few irons in the fire, government tailwinds, some really exciting noises coming out from our leaders. What can investors keep an eye out?
So down in Nevada, we've been working on our few projects there. We've got a new project, Fireball Ridge. We've announced that. So we've done some, we're doing some preliminary work there before the season slows down with the winter. So we've got some numbers coming out of there as well. The Caisson project's looking very promising. I was actually out there a couple of weeks ago with my guy over there. So that's probably one of our most promising projects there. And I like Fireball Ridges as well, which is nice location. It's looking interesting, more interesting than perhaps some others would have thought. So I guess it's all about, remember last time we had that chat, we just saw our driller friend there who does a whole bunch of air core. I think it's all about, fresh eyes looking at Nevada.
Yeah.
And I think that's why the Aussies are going there. It's for us, it's interesting. It's not that bad. I mean, US dollar's a bit of a killer, but fundamentally, the opportunity, I think, for new discoveries there is significant.
Well, not to labour the point, but it's worth emphasising that Nevada has always been a favourable mining jurisdiction, but we've got a very pro-mining US government coming in, which I guess is emboldening those in the region.
Yeah.
And you've obviously got some great projects out there as well. So
Yeah.
Fireball's the one we all should be keeping our eyes on.
I think keep an eye on that, and Caisson in particular, which is, again, looking a little bit different than perhaps what other people would have thought about it. So that's interesting. And look, there's a queue of other maybe deals to do out there. I'm always queued on price. I never overpay. I've always got my eye out for critical mineral plays. You know, we've had the Mustang thing, which is just a work in progress to sort of figure out what's happened there and get our guys back on the ground. That's the delay to sort out whether we have a valid claim or not. But we're working elsewhere on other projects too, because you're right. You know, having the Trump administration in is a breath of fresh air. I just hope they keep that wagon rolling, and they put some more people back into the BLM and all the rest of it, which would be a help, to be honest. But apart from that, there's a lot of money around, and there's a lot of will to make this happen for the US.
Listen, exciting times ahead for Renegade. It was great to catch up with you, and
Yes.
I can't wait for future updates.
Yes, thank you very much. Now I better go and pack my bags and go back home to the office.
Got a long drive back.
There you go. Thank you.